Pete, something's moving behind you. See the gap in between the trees there? Down towards the gate? Down there. Something black just went across it.
Something doesn't feel right here.
And something's in here.
I've now got somebody walking from the other way. You don't have to stay here. You may leave this place. Oh. So just move past.
Time to see if I can see a shadow figure.
It suddenly got really cold. Colder than usual. There is something there.
Yes, sir, yes. I've been poisoned. Manufactured records. It's like a light is in my face, but I can't fall for you. I close my eyes and drift away. I've overdosed on you. Then you wake up dead one day.
The Crystal Palace was a cast iron and plate glass structure to house the Great Exhibition of 1851. More than 14,000 exhibitors from around the world gathered in its 990,000 square feet exhibition space to display examples of technology development in the Industrial Revolution. Designed by Joseph Paxton, the Great Exhibition building was 1,851 feet long and an interior height of 128 feet. The invention of the cast plate glass method in 1848 made it possible for the production of large sheets of cheap but strong glass, and its use in the Crystal Palace created a structure with the greatest area of glass ever seen in a building, would astonish visitors with its clear walls and ceilings that did not require interior lights. The name of the building resulted from a piece penned by the playwright Douglas Jerrold, stating, "It is a palace of very crystal." Edward Milner designed the Italian garden and fountains, the Great Maze and the English landscape garden. The palace became the location of many shows, concerts and exhibitions, as well as sporting events after the construction of various sports grounds on the site. The FA Cup final was held here between 1895 and 1914. Joseph Paxton was the first and foremost a gardener, and his layout of gardens, fountains, terraces and cascades left no doubt as to his ability. One thing he did have a problem with was the water supply. Such was his enthusiasm that thousands of gallons of water were needed to feed the fountains and cascades abounding in the Crystal Palace Park. The two main jets were 250 feet high. Water towers were duly constructed, but the weight of the water in the raised tanks caused them to collapse. Kingdom Brunel was consulted and came up with plans for two mighty water towers, one at the north end of the building and one at the south. Each supported a tremendous load of water which was gathered from 3 reservoirs at each end and in the middle of the park. Between 1933 and 1936, the most extensive television complex in Europe was located beneath the main concourse of Crystal Palace in London, a fact even then unknown to most people. The inventor was John Baird, and his company could claim justification that no other organisation had the capability of providing from such a single site live, high-definition TV broadcast transmitters and receivers. So little is known regarding the existence of the television studios at the Crystal Palace. This is surprising, as the Baird Company could claim with justification that their laboratory and studio complex beneath the main concourse of Sir Joseph Paxton's massive glass building in South London was the most extensive in Europe, occupying 40,000 square feet of space under the south transept and adjoining the tunnel which connected to the 2 distinctive water towers. On the 30th of November 1936 came the final catastrophe, fire. Within hours the palace was destroyed. The glow was visible across 8 counties. People came to watch the blaze, among them Winston Churchill, who said, "This is the end of an age."
Built in 1851 in Hyde Park for the Great Exhibition, opened in royal state by the Queen and the Prince Consort, it was later transferred to its present site in what was then the rural outskirts of London. In 1913 it became the property of the nation, was used as a naval training school during the war, and reopened to the public by their Majesties King George and Queen Mary 16 years ago. It was once spoken of by Thackeray as a blazing arch of lucid glass, and that description was never truer than tonight. At about 8 o'clock the fire started at the Sydenham end. Within 5 minutes it was blazing. The palace firemen did what they could, but it was obviously hopeless, and all the might of London's firefighting equipment can do little more than delay the inevitable destruction.
All that was left standing after the 1936 fire were the 2 water towers. In a November 2011 interview with the Crystal Palace Museum, the true story of the towers was revealed. The south tower to the right of the Crystal Palace entrance was taken down shortly after the fire, as the damage sustained and had undermined its integrity, and it presented a major risk to houses nearby. The north tower was demolished with explosives in 1941. No reason was given for its removal, although it was rumoured that it was to remove a landmark for World War II German aircraft bombers, actually navigating their way to central London by tracking the River Thames. The Crystal Palace grounds were also used as a manufacturing base for aircraft radar screens and other high-tech equipment of the time. This remained a secret until the end of the war. Today, reports say that noises are heard coming from within what is left of the South Water Tower. The maze, constructed in 1879 and reconstructed by Bromley Council in 1987, is not only London's largest but also one of the biggest in the country. As far as it is known, this is the only maze to be constructed with hornbeam hedges. In 2009, the maze was again refurbished and adopted by Girl Guiding UK to mark the centenary of their founding at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace Park is really on the large side, and many people may never have stumbled upon the maze, and yet this is the largest hedge maze in London, circular in shape and 160 feet in diameter, laid out on an artificial mound behind a screen of trees. The original is almost 150 years old and a late addition to Sir Joseph Paxton's pleasure gardens, and known simply as the Tea Maze, because this was somewhere to stroll after afternoon tea. Over many years, there have been reports of strange activity, such as the noise of footsteps on the gravel that covers the floor of the maze as if someone is walking behind you. Shadow figures and voices coming from within the maze is heard. As night time approaches, we start off our first part of our investigation inside the maze, and as we are setting up the equipment and turn on the digital recorders and cameras, a disembodied woman's voice is heard and is captured on all our audio devices. I just heard a woman speak.
Yeah, it's from over there, wasn't it?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It seemed loud.
It was loud.
I'm just wondering if we've got that on the recording. Now what we've done is we've got a camera set up here at these devices on the floor, and Phil's going to just tell us what he's got there. So
basically we've got a normal K2 meter, detects changes in electromagnetic fields. We also brought with us today quite an old magnetometer, which is an analogue one. It's basically a floating needle, works exactly the same way as a compass, but it detects very, very minute changes in the natural magnetic fields. If the needle moves, something has made it move. If you bring a magnet close to it, as with a compass, it will move. So we'll see if it picks anything up.
okay, so we've got Peter on the camera there, and also Rochelle has joined us. You might remember Rochelle from the Bell Public House that we investigated quite a few months ago. She's joined us for this investigation here at Crystal Palace Park. So first of all, we're going to investigate this maze. So there's claims of shadow figures, apparitions, and also footsteps walking. So we're going to be walking through this maze and seeing what we can pick up, because they say you can hear someone walking behind you. So we're going to get the cameras rolling and start investigating this place first before we move on. We would like to speak to any of the spirits that are here in this maze. People have seen you walking around. Can you do something to let us know you're here? Were you here when the Crystal Palace was here? When these were Victorian gardens? When you were here, Pete, something's moving behind you. Some sort of noise coming from inside the maze. A voice is captured on the digital recorder saying, "Pray never again." Here's the enhanced audio. There's some sort of noise coming from inside the maze. There's some sort of noise coming from inside the maze. They used to call this the tea maze, because this is where people used to come on a Sunday afternoon to relax. Can you shout out? Can you tell us what your name is? Why do you stay here? If you look in the centre of the maze, there's some equipment there. Now, one of them has got a green light on it. No need to be afraid of it. But if you go closer to it, it will make more lights. Come on. Can you do that? Can you go to the centre of the maze? Something just went by there. Pete. See the gap in between the trees there? Down towards the gate? Down there. Something black just went across it. Right, stay still. Stand still a sec, Pete. It was in between the space. Something black went straight across that space. And if you listen, I can't hear anyone walking. And we don't have a camera pointing that way. Shit. It wasn't anyone walking, it was far too quick. It was about that high and it shot across that space there. After seeing the shadow figure move from left to right, we decide to send Pete in by himself. Inside the maze, it is so dark and the only way to navigate is by viewing through the LCD screen on the night vision camera. Pete makes his way through the maze until he finds a place to sit down and see what evidence he can capture.
Right, I'm in the maze. And it's completely quiet. Is anybody there? I'm hearing gravel. Is anyone moving? I heard gravel. I came from that direction.
As Pete hears movement, his digital recorder catches an EVP saying, "Come over here at the back." Here's the audio enhanced.
Hearing gravel. Hearing gravel. Is there anybody walking around? Lost in the maze, maybe? I'm hearing lots of strange noises. And just like twigs breaking and rustling. That's just the wind, I think. Are you lost in here? Do you need help finding the way? Are you hiding? Do you not want to talk? It suddenly got really cold. Colder than usual. I heard something there. There's just gravel all over the floor and you can hear people. That was close. There's someone in here.
Movement on the gravel floor can clearly be heard coming from in front of Pete, followed by a man's voice saying they are weak, and as Pete moves forward, a disembodied voice is then heard saying hello.
It suddenly got really cold. Colder than usual. There was something there. There's just gravel all over the floor and you can hear people. That was close. There's someone in here. It suddenly got really cold. Colder than usual. There was something there. There's just gravel all over the floor and you can hear people. That was close. There's someone in here. Something doesn't feel right here.
Okay, Pete's just come out of the maze where he was by himself. Some things happened. Go on then, Pete, what went on?
Well, I got to my my plinth where I sat, and it's all on film and everything. I got there, not much happened for a little while. A couple of minutes in, I heard the gravel rustle from just about over there. I was over there. It was coming from a little distance over there.
Right.
So immediately after that, I heard the gravel rustle literally about a foot away from me, to my left.
Okay, that sounds good.
That spooked me. That's what prompted me to come back, really. Must was getting cold. But yeah.
It was getting cold.
Yeah.
Is that your excuse?
That's the main reason, yeah.
Are you sure? It was time for Phil to make his way into the maze.
gate. No idea where I am going at all. Is there even a thing down there? There we go. Really cannot see anything. And is it dead end? Yes. This is the thing about being in a maze. You have absolutely no idea where you are or where you're going. Very quiet at the moment. Can't hear much at all. Let's move forwards a little bit, see if we can hear anything else. The only thing with moving forwards is I've got to try and find my way back, which is never going to be easy because I've forgotten the way already. There's a plane going over. Oh, so I just moved past. Something in front of me round there. Come on, where are you? I'm back. Where did you go?
Phil sees a shadow figure move around the corner, and it is caught on his night vision camera. And as Phil moves towards it, an EVP is also captured saying, "Who's that?" Here is the footage enhanced, followed by the EVP taken from Phil's digital recorder.
Something in front of me round there. Come on, where are you? I'm back. Something in front of me round there. Come on, where are you? I'm back. I don't know if that's a wind or somebody brushing against the side of the hedges. That was just the other side of me, that was. God, I can't see anything. I've now got somebody walking from the other way. Not from the centre, from that way.
Okay, Phil, so in there by yourself, you just come out, just like Pete did.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Well, firstly, it's incredibly difficult to see. It's so dark in there, and even with the camera light, you walk into the hedges. But I managed to initially go down a dead end, turn round, came back, and then wandered round for a bit. I heard footsteps quite early on. Those footsteps. I stopped and filmed myself for a little while. I thought I heard voice. It may have come from here. I don't know. It's difficult to tell. However, I carried on and I saw a shadow figure in front of me. It moved. So I was filming towards it, and it was just a shadow that went like that very quickly across.
So that would have been the same as what I saw earlier down there by the gate.
Yeah.
Where we go? Time to see if I can see a shadow figure. So come on in. Let me hear you walk. Let me hear you walk on the gravel. Phil and Pete have heard you. Can you do it for me? Something's moving around in here. Something's moving. I can hear them. It's getting closer. Here it comes now. It's walking, it's walking. I'm standing still, I'm standing still. Here we go. As I start to move forward, footsteps on the gravel can be heard walking towards me, and then they stop in front of me. Here it comes now. It's walking, it's walking. I'm standing still, I'm standing still. Here we go. Here it comes now. It's walking, it's walking. I'm standing still, I'm standing still. Here we go. It's so dark in here, so dark. It took us 40 minutes to get out of this maze in the daytime. I don't know where I am. I don't know how far I've come. And something's in here, walking around. I'm gonna have to try and find my way out. I make my way back to the centre of the maze and meet up with the rest of the team. We completed our investigation at the maze, but before we move to our second location, there is one final piece of evidence. In the centre of the maze, our night vision camera captures a white mist which seems to be in humanoid form move from left to right. Here's the footage enhanced. This is the base of the south water tower that was here when the Crystal Palace stood. Down at the end, there's a sealed, like, access tunnel. This may be where they were developing the secret radar in World War II. They didn't say exactly where the location was, but it's strange that there is like a slight part of a ladder and then like a drop down that seems to have been sealed, so maybe it was developed here. Can you tell me if this is where they developed the radar? It was a secret project in World War II. Is that where it took place, down there, where the ladder is, where the metal seal is covering the hole? Can you make a noise? Can you throw something? You all right, Phil?
Yeah, felt something touched me. That was all.
Something touched you?
It felt like it on my back.
When you... okay.
Over from here. Weird.
Did you just touch Phil on his back? I did say do something. Was that you that touched him on his back? If you're here, speak into the red light, please. Can you tell us your name? Can you touch Phil again on the back? Just like you did earlier. Touch him again. Tap him on the back.
If you can't do that again, come and stand where this green light is, just here. If you stand there, it will light up more lights. Then we'll know that you're here.
Or alternatively, light it up if you want us to leave. Are you one of the people that was involved in the construction of the Crystal Palace and the towers? Are you one of the workers? A soldier? Because this was used as a naval training ground as well. Was you involved in the development of the radar?
Perhaps you were here before any of this was built. Maybe you don't know that this has been built. But you need to let us know that you're here.
What's up, Phil?
Touched on the back again.
Did you?
Yeah. Only lightly, but it was a definite touch. There's no wind down here or anything, is there?
No.
Thank you.
Can you tell us your name now? Speaking to the red light.
Do you want to communicate with us? If you don't, then just ask us to leave and we'll go. but you need to tell us either by shouting at us, because we can't necessarily hear you. If you shout, we'll be able to hear you. If you can't do that, then rather than touching me, perhaps touch somebody else to show that you understand and you want us to leave. Jesus. Okay. So you like touching me? Does that mean you want us to go? Or do you want to communicate? You stand where I'm standing, Jeff. See if it's just the position or whether it's just me. It's just me. It's just touched on the elbow. Bizarre. Interested to learn more. Why do you stay here? You don't have to stay here. You may leave this place.
With Phil being physically touched several times, we finally catch an EVP. When Phil says, "You may leave this place," a voice answers back saying, "Why should I bother?" Here's the enhanced audio.
You don't have to stay here. You may leave this place. You don't have to stay here. You may leave this place.
Are there others here? Again.
Yeah.
Was that a yes then, when I said, "Are there others here?" and you tapped Phil again? Does that mean yes? If it does, tap him again. Again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you live here before all this was built on top of the land?
Yeah, it's got tugged back.
Sorry, Phil?
It's got tugged on the back. So that was possibly a yes.
So you was here before the Crystal Palace and these towers were built. So this land has meaning to you. So you was here before the Crystal Palace and these towers were built. So this land has meaning to you. So this land. So this land.
Whoa. There we go. Hit on the K2. Quite a big hit. Whoa. There we go. Hit on the K2. Quite a big hit.
Did you get that, Pete?
Whoa. There we go. Hit on the K2. Quite a big hit.
Did you get that, Pete? I think Pete was pointing the camera in a different direction. Don't think
It
you
was,
got it.
it was a big hit on the K2.
Yeah.
Went almost right up to the very top.
Yeah, I saw that
And
as
that's
well.
the only time it's done it in here.
Can you do that again with that device? Can you make it light up? If you do that for us, I promise you that we'll leave. We'll pack up our stuff and we'll leave. Can you please do it again for us?
Oh,
That's all.
there we go. He wants us to call it a day. Okay.
Should we finish then?
Yeah, okay, we'll finish. Thank you very much. We'll leave you now. You stay here and we will go. Yeah?
Pete?
Yep.
Okay, it's wants us to leave.
Yes.
Or
We'll leave now.
so we've just come out of the bottom of the water tower of the base. Lots of things happened, but something happened to Rochelle when she was in there. I didn't see what happened because we were further down.
It was after the cameras were switched off.
Okay, what happened, Rochelle?
Literally straight after we switched the camera off, I felt a brush on my leg, and then when I was walking out, I felt something on my head, like something touched me on my head.
Was it strong, or was it a
The one on my head was, yeah.
Was
The
it?
one on my leg wasn't that strong, but the one on my head felt like someone like put something on top of my head.